Hello friends, welcome back to the YouTube channel. What up girl? Today I am back and we're going to talk a little bit about losing weight. Sophie, you're going to do something else, girl. I'm sure she's going to come back in here with a toy anytime now. At one point in my life, I tipped the scale at 200 pounds. Technically it was 199. I never actually saw 200 on the scale, but I'm sure it was there. For me, that was a big deal. That was a huge deal. Like, oh my gosh, that was a little more than your girl wanted to be carrying around and a little more than I wanted to be. So, thirsty. Okay, so at one point I hit almost 200 pounds on the scale, and that was kind of my eye-opener for what in the F are you doing? I kind of realized it was time for some life changes. How did I get to that point? I guess would be a good place to start. I was very depressed and was going through it. Just going through it, ladies and gents, and I was doing a lot of partying, a lot of being my young age in college and doing that thing, so I just can't get comfy. That's kind of how I got to where I was. In the middle of being depressed, I kind of lost sight of what I wanted to do. I fell out of love with the gym and the passion of that, and enjoyed a lot of Totino's pizzas, a lot of late night McDonald's runs, a lot of beer and beer food. So that's how we got to that point. Now, here we are. I'm probably was in the same shoes that you're in now, YouTubing and watching videos, and had people that maybe inspired me or motivated me, or people that I just sought out for help. Like, how in the hell do I even get started? The first thing I did was I cut out beer. I quit drinking. I quit going to the bar every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night and turning up with my pals. I made myself a priority and realized that probably was not a good place for me. It's not gonna help my depression any, it's not gonna help my mental state, how I feel about myself, how I feel about the situation. It's not going to help the physicality, like the reality of it, of me trying to lose weight and trying to just take hold of my life a little more than I was. All it was gonna do was allow me to continue to spiral. We cut that out, we stopped drinking, stopped going to the bar, stopped partaking in those things for a while. Now I had no problems every once in a while indulging in something or going out with some friends every once in a while. That's not an issue. But back then, when it was time to cut it out and fix it, we cut it out. Step number 1, cut out the alcohol. The macro breakdown of alcohol is 7 calories for 1 gram of alcohol consumed. Okay, carbs, y'all could be having ice cream and spaghetti and all the breads for only 4 calories per 1 gram. So you're almost doubling your intake as you would be if you were having carbs. Just to give you a little bit of an idea and perspective on alcohol and how dense it is when it comes to calories. So, not only are you eating a lot of crap, typically, when you're drinking, but you also are gaining the weight directly from the drinks themselves. Once I decided to cut out alcohol, I immediately, my body responded. I started to lose weight, I started to slim down a little bit, I could see a difference, not only in how I was, like, reflection-wise, I could physically see a difference, but I also noticed how I was feeling. It really lit a fire under me for everything that was to come after that. It made me want to fix my mental state and kind of get that figured out. It made me want to repair some relationships with family members and things that I probably had been suffering for a little while. It made me want to figure out in the gym life and get back into working out again and kind of explore that passion. So that was a great first step, and it was I don't want to say it was an easy one, but it kind of was an easy one because I didn't have to go choose between eating healthy or dieting or working out. I literally just cut out alcohol, and if I didn't go to the bar, I didn't want to drink. It wasn't that big of an issue. So that was a pretty good jump starter. I will tell you, losing weight is addictive. When you start seeing results in the physical world of health and fitness, it is so addictive. I can understand the mental side of how bodybuilders become extremists and can go, Miss Girl, hi, can I help you? Okay, yes, you are so cute. So once I lost a little bit of weight when it came to cutting out alcohol and seeing those results of where I was kind of starting to slim down a little bit, I slowly regained a little bit of confidence in deciding to go back to the gym again and to explore that and not feel just totally out of my element and very uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong, I felt like I'd been gone for so long, and I was like twice the person that I was before as far as like size. That's an exaggeration, but still, I did not feel like myself, and I definitely was not the girl that was there the first time around. So, feeling a little out of place, a little uncomfortable, I did make it into the gym, and I did crush it, and I did get started. My starting point was not 5 days a week, hitting cardio for 60 minutes a day or whatever. Didn't do anything extreme like that. I literally made it a goal to go to the gym like 3 times a week, alright? I would work it into my schedule if that meant I went Saturday and Sunday, because the weekends I was off work and had a free full day to figure it out. And only one day during the week, so be it. But on those days, I had, shout out to Aubrey Bromlow. She was someone on Facebook, on Instagram, that I had followed for a long time, and she posted workouts every now and then, just things that she was doing. And I would literally walk into the gym, decide what I was feeling that day. I would go to Aubrey's Instagram, find a workout that kind of corresponded with what I wanted to do and what I was feeling, and I would go do those workouts. There wasn't a strict split. It wasn't a, well, I have to do legs today. It was nothing like that. It was just what I was feeling, what felt good. If I did back 3 times that week, then okay, you did back day 3 times that week. Like, it's fine. Because in that moment, me getting in the gym and me moving my body and being physically active was more important than anything. It didn't matter what I was doing at that time, as long as I was moving. So once I got into that routine of going, getting comfortable and feeling like myself again, or starting to feel comfortable in the gym again, I started going a little bit harder, a little more frequently. I still used Aubrey's workouts, and I still kind of based it off of what I was feeling that day. I just was more mindful of probably not doing 3 back days in a row. Probably going to mix it up a little bit and throw in some other things. Was going 4 or 5 times, hitting it really hard, doing well as far as my attendance. And then one of my best friends actually worked out at the same gym. So her and I either worked out together, or if we didn't work out together, most of the time even if we did, we would begin or end our workouts with a mile loop. And what I mean by that is we had a location where we left the gym, we knew we could walk down these blocks over and around, and it was right at exactly a mile long. We would leave, some days we'd walk it, some days we would do a combination of a walk-jog, some days we'd build up to jogging as much as we could, and it was just great time for us to bond, to have time together. And quite frankly, I know for myself, I was going through a lot at that time, and it was so nice to have a companion and someone that was helping me sort through it and being a friend while still able to be active and be involved. She just was helping me in so many ways that I don't even know that she ever realizes. I will forever be indebted and thankful for the time that we had together doing that, because without that, I don't know where I would be. I don't know that I would be in the exact same spot that I was. So that kind of worked in a little bit of cardio. I got into some friend time. It was just a nice bonding experience. She held me accountable. If I wasn't going to be at the gym, or I was tired or wasn't feeling it, I knew that she was going to be there waiting, or we had planned on going, or I look forward to that walk. So I would make my ass, but get up and go to the gym. Once I got through that, I kind of started working in my diet a little bit. I mainly focused on protein to start, and that comes from protein shakes, actually. I would have a protein shake, and once I started having those once a day, just you gotta get that protein in, post-workout, protein shake, gains, bro, all that stuff. Once I would get those in, it kind of became this thing of, well, how much protein should I be having? And so I started doing some more research on that and learning about macros and how much protein you should have a day and what is good for diet and what's good for muscle building and strength building and that kind of thing. And then once you up your protein levels, you're not as hungry, and everything else kind of adjusts with it. So my diet slowly kind of took care of itself, and it was never strict. It just, I focused on protein first. Car driving by. And then with that, everything else kind of fell in line once I figured out or got into that habit and had it under control. I was no longer having Totino's pizzas every single night. I really liked how I felt when I was eating well and I would eat clean, in the days that I would just eat a little cleaner than others and not have crap for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It felt great. It affected my workouts and the way that how well I worked out, how good I felt during those times, how well I slept, how good I recovered. And once I started feeling those effects, I didn't like feeling crappy, so I didn't want to eat as crappy. It all just kind of intertwined so well, or so much, and I hate not being able to give you like a step-by-step, but this is truthfully how it all happened for me. At that point, I started really like diving in hard into the world. I had done spent a lot of time on YouTube, a lot of time on Google, researching things, reading articles, looking up every freaking smart person, reputable individual out there that knows about bodybuilding, lifting, losing weight, macros, calorie in, calorie out, just all of it. I did it all. So I started to dive really, really hard into it, and that's where I started really focusing and honing in on my macros. Macros seem to be the best for me. I really like that setup of my nutrition because it was so flexible. Loved that if I wanted to go get Dairy Queen Blizzard tonight, Sophia's pouting in the corner. Oh my gosh, I wish you could see this. If I wanted to go get a Dairy Queen Blizzard tonight, by golly, I can. I'm going to log that in, plan that for the day. I know that's going to take up a good chunk of my carbs, but that's fine. I still get to have those kinds of things. I will have cookies and I will have cupcakes, because at the end of the day, there is no diet worth sacrificing the memories that you're going to make with people that you love. And I see a lot of people and a lot of extremists that they diet and then they start skipping birthdays or Christmases and Thanksgivings, and they're just not as involved because they're so restrictive on their diets. And you get one life to live. You get one chance to go to a 5th birthday. You get one chance to do Christmas with everybody that's gonna be there this year and have with this foods. Like, you're missing opportunities for a diet. Just, it hurts my heart. So, rant for the day. I honed in on macros hard and enjoyed the flexibility that came with that. Once I started dialing in on my macros and really paying attention to my proteins, my carbs, my fats, which I'll talk a little bit about that in another video sometime, of how to calculate your macros and how to figure out what works best for you and feel those out and make changes. Another video for another day. Here she comes again. Next thing you know, I was diving hard into workout splits, what days I was working out when, what exercises I was doing. I was really paying attention to recovery time. Well, if I do legs on Monday, then come Wednesday, I'm probably going to be recovered or on the edge of recovering, so Thursday I could hammer out a second leg workout. I knew that I didn't want to do legs Monday and Tuesday, or I knew that I'd have a big, I don't know, I worked Monday morning. I didn't want to be sore and tired Monday morning, so I would plan my workouts accordingly. And next thing you know, the pounds were shredding. I was at a whole different kind of person. I just elevated to a whole new person. It was phenomenal. I guess ultimately, there's not really like a step-by-step because this is an individualized process for everybody. Everybody has their own adversities. Everybody has their own things they struggled with. I found it easy to cut out alcohol, and that was my start. That was my jump start. All it takes is for you to find that, whatever it is that lights a fire under your butt to get you started, hone in on that, and you're here. You're smooth sailing from then on out. That's not to say that you won't have difficulties or hurdles or times of weakness or a little bit of backsliding you have to fix or like, you know, come back from. Those days do happen. But at the end of the day, having one day of having cupcakes and having a little too much spaghetti at dinner and maybe a pizza for lunch that you shouldn't have had, you realize, when it puts you in a perspective of how little that really matters in the grand scheme of things. When you were crushed it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday you blipped up a little bit, whereas before you may have been like, well, forget it, I'll start again Monday. No, you're just like, okay, it is what it is, and you get back at it on Sunday. It's fine. There is no working out twice as hard Sunday to make up for it. And no, it's life. Okay, you're never going to be 100% perfect. So as far as dieting and losing weight and what the tricks are and the tips and how can I do it, and the first step is starting. The second step is following through with starting. Sticking with it. That's the hard part. I guess ultimately, if I was going to break it down for you step by step, alcohol is huge if that's something that you will partake in. Especially young, college, that kind of thing, freshman 15, that's a big part of it. 2, fast food and stuff ties in close with that, just being aware of how much you're consuming of fast food. 3, I started at the gym first. Too many people take it all on at once. They just redo their whole entire life and try to just revamp everything. I'm gonna be a whole new person. Now I'm gonna be a fitness person, and that's not the way that works. It makes it harder for yourself. So my success story is that I did one thing at a time, and that's what I advise everybody to do. I made the smart choice of fixing my environment and the things that I was partaking in. The next thing I know, my mental health was clear. I started moving in the gym a little more. I had a small goal of 3 days a week. I did whatever the heck I was feeling that day. Thank you, Instagram, for providing me for some workouts. And that slowly climbed into a world now where I have no problem tracking macros and have an idea of what I'm eating, and second nature, and just kind of coming natural to me. I now know how to manipulate my body a little bit more, and I can see when things I'm starting to feel crappy, and I can see where maybe I just haven't eaten quite as well. I've made some poor choices a lot lately, and I'm starting to feel that. Those are things that you really learn how to dial in on when you get this experience from this process. I guess ultimately my advice to you, if you are here wanting to know, what do I do? I have X amount of pounds to lose, is to throw that number out the window. Focus on one thing at a time, and the results will come. You will lose the weight. It will shred off. It will melt away. But I find that when I quit focusing on the number on the scale, and I focused on the benefit that came from whatever decision it was, exercising, not drinking, eating better, being mindful of my intake as a whole, activity levels as a whole, repairing relationships and building friendships, when I focus on those individual tasks themselves, and not just, I'm trying to lose weight. I had more success with losing weight than I did when I was ho-hum about losing 20 pounds. With that being said, I hope this video is somewhat helpful for you. I know it's probably not the how-to step-by-step like every person wishes the magic trick would provide for them, or the magic piece of advice that every person hopes they'll run across that just turns their world around. But at the end of the day, it's a tool, it's a resource. I know that I used every resource that I could soak up, and I am so thankful for it. So if this impacts you in some way, or you find this helpful in any way, shape, or form, I did my job. It makes me happy. I did my part. Left a little something more productive in the world. I gave you something that you could take from, and you left behind what you didn't need, but you took away from this the parts that you did need. So stay tuned for the next one. I'm definitely going to try to get a video going on how to calculate macros and how to manipulate those a little bit, just for some more information for people. And I don't know what I'm rolling with after that. I'm kind of working on my list of content and what I want to work on this year for YouTube. So thank you so much for watching the video. Comment, like, subscribe. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you. I think I forgot to say that at the beginning. I appreciate your time. Same thing for those that have watched all my videos, or even just this one. Whoever's watching, thank you. I appreciate your time so much. I hope you all have a wonderful February. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Have a great day. Thank you so much, and goodbye.